Today we're going to look at the really cool editing tools that you can use when you are using the editing window. And you use the editing window when you are posting a new topic. So here's your editing window and here are the tools. And you also use these tools when you are replying to a topic. So here we are going to reply, and you can see the same tools come up. You can see in the editing box that there are a number of tips for how to frame your topic or things to think about when generating a topic. And then you also have a long list of different ways you might want to frame your reply if you're not very comfortable with dialogue yet. For example, if you are disagreeing with someone, there are a number of starters here. For example, you might start with, "I agree that X, but we also have to consider that," or "The evidence I've seen suggests something different. Are you aware that?" In any case, as soon as you type in this box, all of this disappears. The first function that we're going to look at is if you want to bold something. So if you want to bold, for example, the caption for what you're talking about, or you want to emphasize something, you simply click on the B here for bold, and then you will see the word strong text. If you just start typing what you would like to say, then you can see on the right here, it's going to preview what this word looks like, and you can see that it's bolded. To italicize, you do the same. So you just click on I, type what you want to type, and there you have a preview of the caption, and it's italicized. If you'd like to add a link to your post or topic, you would click on this little chain icon here. So let's do an example. I'm going to type here, "Check out our cool website." I'm going to do two different versions. So in the first version, I'm going to insert a link by clicking here. In this case, I think I'm just going to do the actual link. So in other words, I'm not going to fill in this optional title. In the second version, I'm going to insert a link, the same one. In this case, I'm going to put some words here that'll substitute the link. Click here. Okay. So now we're going to reply. And so you can see that we actually end up with two versions. We get one version where you actually have the link, or instead you can just have words to substitute that link. Regardless, whenever you click on either of these, it'll take you to the link. Okay, so if you want to indent any words by 4 spaces just to offset it a little bit and make it stand out from the rest of the text, you would click on this icon here and again just start typing. And you can see that it's indented by 4 spaces. Besides indenting the text like we have here, another way that you can offset something, for example, say you want to quote something or do a block quote, is you can type what you'd like to block quote, and then you highlight it, and then you click on this block quote icon here. And you can see on the right how it indents it, but it also highlights it to set it apart. So let's just reply here. And here we have "I love cats," and you can see it's highlighted in a different color gray, and it kind of offsets it. Let's pretend that we want to reply to this reply up here. But it's really important that people know what we're referring to when we give our answer. What we would do is we would click reply, and then down here you can click this little chat icon, and what that does is it directly quotes what that person says, as you can see it over here, and then I can just go ahead and type what I want to say about that person's comment. Perhaps in your reply you want to upload something for everyone to look at because you feel like this evidence is critical. Sometimes documents, photos speak for themselves louder than you ever could. So in that case, what you would do is you would click this upload icon here. And I'm going to say, have you seen this? I'm going to click on that, and so you can actually upload a file or an image from your device. In this case it would be from my desktop, or you can actually upload it from the web, and when you upload it you can also drag and drop into the editor if you want to do it that way. So I'm going to choose a file from my desktop, upload it, and then if you look on the right, you actually get a nice preview of that photo and what it's going to look like. And we can just go ahead and post this. You could just drag the photo in from your desktop. And as you can see, you get a nice preview. We'll post that one. Same result, different method of uploading. If you'd like to insert bullet points or a numbering system, you would make your list first. I'm just going to copy it so I can do two versions here. Okay, so in the first version, we're actually going to do bullet points. So we'll highlight the words and click on this icon. Here, I think we'll do numbering. So we'll click on this icon here. And you can see you've got these two different versions of the list. Key thing here is generate your list first, highlight it, and then click on the icon. Here's something fun. We've got icons, and what I really like about these icons is that when you pick, okay, come on, why is that not doing that? Aha, there we go. So when you pick these face icons, you can actually pick the skin tone. And then, of course, there are hundreds of things to choose from in here. You just click through the categories and the lists, so you can really go to town if that's your cup of tea. Now you can see when I click on these that it doesn't look like an icon here, but if you look to the right in the preview, this is where you're going to get to see what the icon looks like. So keep that in mind. When you click an icon, it actually will insert the name of the icon. So don't be confused by that. Okay, here is a really cool function. I'm actually dying to use it, but I'm not sure how. So let's just say you have a spoiler, but you don't want to let everyone know the answer just yet, and you want to torture them a little bit. So here I've typed, okay, here is the skinny. I know what is going to happen, but I don't want to let you know just yet. I want you all to guess and reply here, and then I'll unblur the spoiler below. So we would type in our spoiler, which we don't want anyone to know about just yet. What you do is you highlight it, and then you go to this little cog here, click on it, click blur spoiler, and lo and behold, if you look over here, it gets blurred. And then you can come in later and edit this, and you can delete the spoilers, and the answer gets revealed. So let's reply. And then we want to come in later. Let's just say we've tortured them enough. So this little pencil icon here, we click on that. And if you just delete the spoiler in the brackets, the text then, and we save that edit, you can see that the answer appears. Here is a poll that we generated in our pilot group, and it's a poll on what topics are important to members, which is something that I'm sure a lot of towns would like to do. And when we generated this, we actually generated this template one question at a time. So you can imagine how we would have bolded this line here. Please rate these issues on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very important to you and 1 being not important at all. And then we have fracking. And so then here, members come in and they click on a level of 1 to 10. How important is this topic? So if we pick 5, then I have just said that this topic is 5 out of 10 for me in terms of importance. Actually, it's 10 out of 10 for me. And then you can see over here we have one voter, and that is me, and this will increase as people vote. And then you can actually have a look at the results. So here the average rating is 5, and here we have the scale. And when people first look at this poll, they're going to see the scale that they can click on. How do we build this? Let's just say Tommy, our enthusiastic member, has decided he wants to build a poll. Well, first thing to do is to start a new topic, because we probably wouldn't do it as a reply. And then we probably want to do some instructions. We bold them, so we would put the instructions in, like rating on a scale of 1 to 10, something like that. You can see that appears over here. And then we might have the issue. We'll just do fracking again. And then we want to go over to this cog, and you'll see there's an option to build a poll. So in this case, you could do a single choice, you could do a number rating, which is what we're going to do, and there's also multiple choice. So in this case, we're going to do a number rating, and we're going to do it on a scale of 1 to 10, and 1 to 20 seems to be a bit much. And then it's always fun to show who voted, but you don't have to. So if you want this to be anonymous, you certainly can do that. So then we insert the poll, and you can see on the right how this appears. So the way this is set up is you're going to have to go in and do the same thing over and over for each question. Let's say Tommy just wants to ask the group a binary question like yes or no. How would he do that? Well, he would go into this cog, he would build the poll, and he wants to pick single choice. And the reason why he would pick single choice is he wants them to make one answer. And so we're going to show who voted. And for this question, it's going to be yes or no. They have to click either of those two answers. So we're going to insert the poll, and here you can see how it would appear. And so what will happen is they can click either yes or they can click either no. But if you want to create a poll that has multiple options, where you might pick 3 out of the 5 answers, you would do that by clicking on here, building your poll, and here you're going to give them multiple choices. So we could have 1 to 4 answers that they could click on. Okay, and let's insert the poll, and you can see here that now we have 4 options, and the members can click on 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4 of these 3, or all of them if they really want. And you can imagine how these 3 different types of poll questions and formats can really be important. And it's very limiting if you have only one of these templates. So I think it's really cool that we have these 3 different types of answers that you can have. And in fact, in your poll, you could have all these formats and use all of them depending on the type of question and the type of answer that you're looking for. The last cool function that I'd like to show you today is one that comes in handy when you want to make a reply and you are just burning inside and you have so much to say and you pretty much want to write a PhD thesis. Well, that's all well and good and great. The more information we get, the better, but it can be a little overwhelming for other members. So what you can do is you can sort of give this brief summary of what you're going into. And then for that really long thesis, you can highlight it, go into this cog icon here, hide the details, post it, and you can see, once it comes up on the screen here, come on, here it is. You can see if people want to read the full information, they just click on here and then they can also then close that out. If you have any questions that aren't answered in this YouTube channel, and that's high on the cards at first because we're building this as we go along, go ahead and go into site feedback, and what we'd like you to do is just reply to this thread and let us know if there's anything that's confusing or if you have any questions that you'd like answered in the YouTube forum, things like that.